Awesome. All right, let's. There she is.
Down in
All
the
right.
crazy basement, so I'm ready to
Awesome.
go whenever you are.
Okay, go ahead, face down on your belly unless that's uncomfortable today for any reason. Always starting here. You always have the option to roll over, stay seated. You could even do this standing, but the idea is that you formally begin your practice. You can even just say, welcome to the mat, and now I begin. And as you settle in, notice how your body feels today. Notice if you are pulling up and away from the floor anywhere. I know this position is a little awkward, but over time, you learn to arrange your body so that you can have some comfort and ease and begin to turn inward. This is your opportunity to pay attention to the quality of your breathing. Not only just the quality of your breathing, but to begin to concentrate and focus the mind. So as you breathe in, you can feel the belly press into the floor. And then as you breathe out, just let the back body sink back a bit. And as the breath begins to deepen and lengthen, you know this diaphragmatic breathing actually helps the muscles begin to soften, let go of their habitual holding pattern. So it's a great place to start before we even begin to stretch and move. You just take note of this breathing pattern that you've begun to establish, and you just see if you can return to that kind of over and over again throughout your practice. When you're ready, you can go ahead and press back into a child's pose. So take the sit bones back towards the heels, draw the torso down towards the thighs, let the forehead rest. Good. In this position, just press the palms of the hands into the floor, just activating underneath the armpits and the shoulder blades. The whole shoulder girdle begins to wake up just a little bit here. And then you can press into a table pose and begin to warm up the spine. So as you inhale, round the back, and that's actually as you exhale. And then as you inhale, open, drop the belly down towards the floor. Exhale and round, just feeling like you're waking up from the tailbone to the base of the neck. And staying present with the movement through the whole length of the spine here. And coming back to a neutral position and press down through the hands and rotate the neck in, as fully of a full rotation as is comfortable, and giving yourself permission to stay in one space if you feel that that creates a deeper opening or a space that might need that. Just make sure you go in both directions. Come back to a neutral position here. Just spin the arms around, spin not the arms, but rather the fingertips spin out and back towards the body. So the thumb rotates out, gives a little stretch for the forearm, which can be a little funky at first. So give yourself a breath just to hold there. Good, and breathe. And then go ahead and release. Take the fingertips forward. Good, and tuck the toes and unfold from the knee into a down dog, keeping the tailbone high. Low belly drawing in, knees very soft here. And you can pedal out the feet, so just deeply bend one knee and then the other. Just very gently opening up the backs of the legs. And then walk your feet up towards your hands. Make your way all the way up to standing here. So just drop the tailbone down, arms out to the sides, unhinge, lift all the way up, arms up and overhead, and then exhale, lower the arms down. And as you inhale, draw your shoulders up, back down and around. It's as if the shoulder blades here get to massage the upper back. And you're breathing, inhaling and exhaling smoothly. And then reverse, go the other way. So draw the shoulders together, then forward, and really let the shoulder blades separate on the back side of the body as the arms come forward here. Good. And then go ahead, let the arms rest. As you inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. And as you exhale, lower the arms down. So just a couple of simple arm movements to coordinate breath with movement again. Exhale, lower down, really coordinating it with your breath. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, lower down. Good, and the next time the arms come up and overhead, you'll just hold them there. Interlace the fingers, take the palms up towards the ceiling. Stretch, draw down through the feet, but lengthen through the torso. Exhale, tip to the right. And then inhale, come back to center. And exhale, tip to the other side. Good. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, lower the arms down. Good. Interlace your fingers behind you. Take the hands down towards the floor. So if the palms of the hands come together, that's great. It may or may not happen. And you may be able to lift the hands away from the sacrum just a touch to deeper stretch in the shoulders here. Good. And then go ahead and exhale. Just let the arms come down by your sides here. And then just begin to march in place a little bit. So looking to get some circulation through the whole body, but in particular the legs here, since we'll be working with those here shortly. Just a little bit of marching in place. You might find that the heart rate starts to increase just a bit, even with this simple movement. Good, the deep breaths. Good. And then the next time the right foot comes down, just shift the weight over and begin to circle the left ankle here. So shift the weight over and rotate the foot in all directions. Good. Working on balance, wiggle out your toes, and then go ahead and place the left foot down. We'll shift the weight over to that left foot. Pick up the right. Good. And then rotate the other direction. And go ahead, place the foot down here. Good. Begin to swing this. We're going to warm up the legs real gently here today. So swing the right leg just from front to back. So if you turn sideways, the opposite arm will come forward. Yeah, so it's just a great way to warm up the right around the hip. You actually get a little bit of ham. Good. You're standing upright as much as possible, swinging from the hip joint. Good. And then you'll switch and go to the other side. It's like letting the weight of the whole leg kind of draw down and just swinging. The pendulum can start out small and just get a little bit bigger. Good. And then go ahead and place that foot down here. Good. Step towards the camera. Just drop the weight down into the hands. Separate the feet though. There you go. And drop the right shoulder down towards the left knee. So, and then inhale, come back up. And then exhale, go to the other side. Good. So you're just starting to get through the back of the body a little bit. Good. Couple more. Good. One more. And then go ahead and stand all the way up here. Good. Heel toe together and step towards the front of the mat. And as you inhale, arms will come up and overhead. And as you exhale, you'll go into a forward fold. So breathing in, good, and then exhale, forward fold. Good. Let the head and neck relax. Good. With the hands on the floor here, go ahead and step back with the right foot into a lunge. So the right foot will step back. You can take the knee down to the floor or keep it off today. Your choice. Knee comes down. Good. And then go ahead and place the right hand on top of the left thigh and twist to the left. So, to twist towards, yeah, there you know, yeah, you had it, Bree. My bad here. Yep. Go ahead and twist towards the camera. Sorry, it's hard to see here. Yeah, twist towards me, Bree, towards the camera. There, that's it. There you go. Open up through the shoulders. So good. And then go ahead and untwist yourself, hands on either side of the foot, and stretch back with the sit bones towards, just to unfold the leg again. So if the legs are tight, keep a soft bend in the knee. Just keep a soft bend. Inhale, come forward into the lunge again. Open up across the hip flexors, so the right hip flexor, and then exhale, move back to straighten and stretch the left leg again. Once you're in this position, think about drawing the left hip crease back into the body and the right hip point stays forward. So sometimes we kind of twist open out of this ever so slightly, but draw the left hip crease back into the body. Good. And then inhale, come forward, send the left knee back to meet the right. Good. And tuck your toes, lift up into down dog. Good. And exhale, let's see, float forward into a plank. And then when you're ready, you can go ahead and lower down your choice, either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, and then upward facing dog, cobra. Good. And then when you're ready, you'll draw through the belly, exhale back into down dog. Look forward to your hands and you'll step forward, right foot, heel first. And step forward left into a forward fold. Good. When you're ready, nice deep bend in the knee, arms out to the sides, unhinge from the hip, all the way up to standing. And you can exhale, lower your arms down to your sides or right through heart center into prayer pose. It's your choice. Just take a breath and notice the right side of the body in particular here. And then when you're ready, inhale, reach the arms up and overhead, and then exhale into a forward fold. We'll prepare to do the left side. Good. And then when you're ready, step back with the left foot into a lunge. Good. And go ahead and you can take the knee down to the floor on the back or do the twist here. So you can take the right hand to the right thigh, go ahead and twist to the right, drawing the right shoulder into the body. Sorry about that, Jess. You have held here. Good. Just make sure right shoulder blade drawing into the body. Good. Yeah, good. You can place it at the sacrum, at the waist, wherever it can reach up and overhead. Go ahead and untwist yourself and then reach the sit bones back to open up and unfold the left leg here. And then inhale, come forward, right back into a lunge and open up now through the hip flexor, left side. And then exhale, reach back, open up the right leg again. Think about squaring off the pelvis. So you want to think about drawing the right hip crease back into the body. The left hip point is drawing forward, so the pelvis is square. Inhale, just soften the front knee so you can send it back to meet the left and then tuck the toes, unfold from the knees into down dog again. Good, float forward into plank. And when you're ready, you'll exhale, lower down. Chaturanga or upward facing dog or cobra, your choice. Good, inhale, lift. And when you're ready, you really draw through the belly. Exhale, let it pull you back into down dog, rolling over the toes. Look forward to the hands. You'll step forward, left foot into a lunge. And step forward, right. Forward fold. Good, nice deep bend in the knee. Arms out to the sides. Unfold from the hip crease, lift the arms up and overhead. Exhale, lower the arms down, either to the sides or straight down through the heart center, your choice. And just take a couple of breaths here, noticing the whole body integrating from the feet to the crown of the head. Paying attention to the quality of your breath. And step towards the long side of the mat, facing the camera here, toes facing forward, nice wide stance. So take the right toes out, left heel away. Good. Place the hands on the hips. Shift the hips off to the left, hinge towards the right. So triangle pose here. So again, if the backs of the legs are really tight, you're going to keep a nice bend, soft bend in the knee. Yeah. Hand can support you. So if you feel like you're holding, shaking, not breathing, you place the hand on the shin to just help support the whole weight of the torso. So we want to breathe here. And what you do with this left arm is it can come up and overhead. It can wrap around the body. And if you're feeling like you really need to burn something off here, you can let go of the right arm, take it forward like you're holding a tray of hors d'oeuvres. Yeah, but when you get there, you really want to make sure you're breathing, really important. And on any given day, that may or may not happen, in which case, put the hand down again. Good. And then you'll go ahead and inhale, take yourself all the way back up here. Good. Deep breath. Take the right toes forward. Good. Take a nice deep bend in the knee, and we'll hinge forward just into a forward fold. So hands will come down to the floor. Place the right hand onto the floor, and then as you exhale, lift up with the left. Good. Reach. A little twist here. Again, keep the back, the knees soft, tailbone lifting. Good. Go ahead and take the hand down to the floor, and you'll reach up with the right. So just good. Nice. Big stretch, big opening across the front of the collarbones. Head stays in alignment with the spine, so it just lifts a touch there. Good. And then go ahead, right hand down, nice deep bend in the knee, unhinge from the hip. Go ahead and lift all the way up to standing, and you'll take the left toes out, right heel away. Pelvis shifts off to the right. You begin to hinge at the left hip joint. Spine stays long, no final destination in mind. Knee stays soft. So the spine is long out of the pelvis. So good. Lifting the head so it's in alignment with the spine. So that's it, Jess. You got it. Good. And the hand can come forward. It can stay at the shin. Here's the most important thing is that you are breathing. Top hand can wrap around, and bottom hand, if you're feeling like you're breathing here, can come out and serve some hors d'oeuvres. But again, you breathe. Head stays in alignment. You feel grounded through the feet and integrated from the feet up through the crown of the head. Good. And then on your next breath in, you'll go ahead and inhale all the way back up. Good. And take the left toes forward. Good. Pigeon toed or forward is where the toes are here. Hinge forward again into a forward fold. Good. We're going to change the twist a little bit. Hands come down. This time, left hand goes over to the right foot, and you'll reach up with the left arm. So this just changes yep, there you go. So it just changes the twist a little bit. That's it. You got it. That's good. Good. And then walk yourself over to the other side. So this time, left. The right hand goes to the outer edge of the left foot. Reach up. Good. Just it changes it just a bit here. And then go ahead and untwist yourself. Good. Nice deep bend in the knee, unhinge from the hip, and come all the way up to standing. And then heel toe together here. Shift the weight over to the right foot and up onto the toes of the left. And this is where you could stay, or you could take it to the ankle and just lift the toe here. Could come to the calf or up and over the knee joint, your choice. The only place that's not safe is at the knee joint itself. Once you feel grounded down through your supporting leg, you lift up and out of that hip joint. And if hands come to heart center, the elbows lift so you feel an activation around the upper chest and back. If arms are up and overhead, you reach through the fingertips, but the shoulder blades draw down the back. So there's an activation with the arms up and overhead. They're not just kind of hanging out there. Your eyes are focused on one point, and you let it all come together with balance, breath, and ease, awareness, integration. Good. And then when you feel satisfied, you can go ahead and place the left foot down. Arms come down, shake out the legs just a little bit. And then shift the weight over to the left foot and up onto the toes of the right. Take the heel towards the ankle here. And then again, decide where you're going to place the tree, at the calf or up and over the knee joint. Hands at heart center, elbows lift. If they're up and overhead, there's a reach through the fingertips, but a drawing down the back. So their arms are very active. Eyes are very focused on one point, and you're aware of the whole body and the whole body breathing. And then go ahead and take the foot down, arms down, foot down, roll the shoulders just a couple of times here. Separate the feet just a little bit wider and twist with the heel lifting and the knee moving in the direction that you're twisting, and the arms just wrap around the body. And then come back to center, feet about hip width apart, and just make some circles with the nose. If you feel balanced, close your eyes. It's just not to take the head all the way back, but just about 3/4 of a circle. Just don't want to compress the cervical vertebrae. Just make sure you go in both directions, shoulders drawing down. And make your way back to the center here. Step towards the front of the mat when you're ready. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Step back into down dog. Good. Reach up with the right leg, and if it feels good, you can kind of stretch across the front of the pelvis, bend the knee, look under the armpit. Then you'll take the right knee towards the right wrist and reach back with the left leg. When you reach back left here, taking a look at the foot to just make sure that the left foot is not sickling out to one side or the other, but you want to be mindful as if overstretching that back ankle. As you settle down and the pelvis settles down into pigeon pose, if you notice that there's any tension in the knee or that this is just simply too tight, you can take support underneath the right hip. Good. And then when you're ready, you can walk forward into Pigeon Prep. So coming down to the forearms, you stay long through the spine. And in this position, if you're looking to make any subtle adjustments to deepen the stretch, you may or may not be looking to do that. But if you are, sometimes we're rolling to the right. So you kind of draw that right hip crease back into the body, drop down with the left. Press the top of the foot into the floor, the left foot, keep a little activity. Lengthen the spine out of the back of the pelvis, and turn your attention towards just the quality of your breathing here. And with the breath deep and even, see if you can feel the breath in the back body. So feeling just a little bit of movement through the back ribs. Use your hands to support you to come back up. Give yourself the space that you need to step back into down dog, or even just a table pose will suffice, just to square off the pelvis again. And then you're in a table, you'd come up to down dog to lift up the left leg and the left knee, if that's available to you, to look under the left armpit. Good. And then you take the left knee to the left wrist. Reach back with the right leg. Let the pelvis begin to settle down. Take support if you need it. Going to take a look at the foot just to make sure. Sometimes the foot kind of sickles, toes kind of roll in towards the midline, and the ankle rolls to the outer edge. You'll hold here. If you find that it's uncomfortable to be upright with the torso, you can take the torso forward and come down to forearms. It's called Pigeon Prep. Taking support underneath the pelvis if you need it. And you'll notice as you come forward, it changes the stretch a bit, but sometimes it gives you an opportunity to work on the alignment of the pelvis. So again, drawing back with the left hip crease, drawing the right hip point down. That's only if you need it. These are just really subtle little adjustments that can make a big shift in the way this feels. A little activity in the back leg just by very gently pressing down through the top of the foot, staying long through the spine, and then turning your attention to the quality of breathing. And see if you can feel the breath in the core of the body, and in particular through, again, the back ribs, seeing if the breath is deep and that it didn't get stuck and shallow. And then you can use your hands to support you to come back up, and you'll step back either into a table pose or a down dog. And then you can go ahead, come down to the knees, roll yourself over onto your back, hug your knees into your chest. All the way down here, just hug them in, let the low back be long, and make a couple of circles in each direction on the sacrum. Reverse and go the other way. Place the feet flat on the floor, but separate the feet wide towards the edges of the mat, and just let the legs drop from side to side like windshield wipers. The wider the legs are here, the more you can feel it through the inner thigh, the pelvis, the low belly. And bring the knees back up to center here, and feet about hip width apart, the hands beneath the head, just like you've created a little bit of a pillow. As you exhale, you'll press the low back into the floor. Hold that on your inhale, and on your next exhale, just lift the head, neck, and shoulders up towards the ceiling. So this is going to work muscles kind of right around the floating rib cage. And you'll inhale, come back down. Exhale and lift. But kind of hold the low belly here through the whole thing. Exhale and lift. Inhale and lower. And just kind of isolating some muscles in the abdomen here. Not a full crunch all the way up, just a little straight up and straight back down. Couple more. What I love about yoga abdominal work is we just do kind of a few. Good. And then you'll go ahead and let your head come down. You can slip the hands out from underneath your head here and place palms on your thighs. So that was the upper belly. You press the palms on the thighs, the heels of the hands kind of towards the hip crease here, the crease at the pelvis, yeah. And you're pressing the hands into the thigh and drawing the pubic bone towards the navel center, but you're using your hands to resist that. So it doesn't look like much, but you'll find that you have a deep belly engagement. So again, you're pressing the heels of the hands into the thighs, kind of low, or where the thigh meets the hip here. Drawing the pubic bone towards the belly button, you just keep holding and breathing. So again, low belly. Keep breathing even into the resistance. Breathing here. Good. And then go ahead and completely relax. Stretch your legs along the floor. Place the hands beneath the head again as though you've created a pillow. And slide the shoulders over to the right and walk the feet over to the right. So compression through the right side, but an opening on the left from the hip bone, sort of fanning open the rib cage all the way up into the armpit. Take a couple of breaths here, just being aware of the space and how the breath assists the opening. Slide your shoulders back to center, walk your feet back in, and then go to the other side. So shoulders will slide left, that's hard to say. Feet slide left. Good. You'll know that you've gone too far if you feel like you're picking up and away from the floor. You might just kind of make a more open C shape position here. So again, opening from the hip bone up into the armpit, a little opening of the rib cage. And you're aware of the space and this space breathing. And when you're ready, you go ahead, slide your shoulders back in, feet will walk in here, and you'll roll all the way over onto your belly. Put forehead down here, arms down by your sides. Press the tops of the feet into the floor. Just pubic bone close towards the navel center just a bit. It's not a tuck of the tailbone, but a long, little long back here. As you press the tops of feet on the floor, activate all the way up until you can roll the glutes together. It just kind of hugs the tailbone. And then you'll inhale and lift. You'll hold all that, but lift the legs about an inch or so. Very high. And then if you feel comfortable in the low back, you'll lift the head, neck, and shoulders. And you'll reach the hands down towards the feet very actively. You can even interlace the fingers behind you. A couple notes here of keeping the neck long without compressing through the cervical vertebrae. Keeping the chin slightly tucked will keep that neck long, exactly. Breathe in and you lift, and breathe out, you come down, but only a little bit. Okay. And then turn your head to one side, come down and rest, separate the legs, arms come down, head comes down. Usually feels pretty good. Let the weight of your body settle down into the floor and be aware of the body breathing. And bend the knees and then let the legs drop from side to side. And then you can go ahead and roll over onto your back. And we'll work with the legs a little bit here. So you can keep the right leg bent with the foot flat on the floor and lift the left leg up into the air here. It may not come to straight depending on how tight the backs of the legs are. So you can interlace your fingers behind the hamstring if that's accessible. Good. And when we're working with the leg here, you want to feel first that the femur is really dropping down into the pelvis. So rather than, so you want to feel connected through the low back, and you're not reaching up with the left leg, but really letting the left leg kind of draw down here. Keeping the foot active, so pulling the toes back, a little reach through the heel. And then as you exhale, if you feel like there's more that you want to stretch to the back of the leg, you can draw the leg a little closer to the torso. The knee can stay soft. You don't need to straighten the knee here. You can feel your body breathe. And you can even point and flex the foot. That'll allow you to feel the calf a little bit. You may have to back off once you do that if the calves are tight. Just point and flex the foot. And if for some reason this, you really weren't feeling much of a stretch here, you can try extending the right leg along the floor. And if that doesn't feel comfortable, certainly keep the right knee bent flat on the floor. Good. And then go ahead and we can release the left leg down, bend that knee, place the foot flat on the floor, and then we'll work with the right side a little bit. So go ahead and extend it out. Again, feel the back of the pelvis, let the leg really drop down. Good. And once you feel like you've found that comfortable stretch, knees soft, you can use your hands to support you, point and flex the foot, change the stretch just a little bit. Knee soft. The face is soft, the throat is soft. And extend the left leg along the floor. Keep that leg active if you do. And then you can go ahead and extend the left leg all the way along the floor. This time both legs are extended, and reach your arms overhead. Give yourself one full body stretch. Fingertips to toes. Maybe wiggle the finger roll the wrists. And arms down by your sides. Just a couple more things here we got to do. Bend the knees, place the feet flat on the floor, slide the heels close to the sit bones. And as you exhale, press the low back into the floor and anchor that with the engagement of the low belly. And when you're ready, you'll lift the pelvis off the floor, coming up into a bridge pose. As high is as comfortable for the low back. And if you feel that there is more that you'd like to express here in this pose, you can roll to one shoulder and tuck it under, and then roll to the other side, tuck it under, and release your fingers. Press the arms into the floor, and you take the sternum towards the chin, but you keep the face and the throat soft. A note about the legs to keep the back safe, which is to keep the knees drawing in towards one another and some engagement in the inner thigh, so that the legs aren't splaying out. With the diaphragm, that muscle for breathing is slightly inverted here. Be aware of what that feels like as you let the body breathe. And then when you're ready, go ahead and lower down one vertebrae at a time. Separate the knees, or the feet rather, so that the legs, and then let the legs again windshield wiper from side to side. You can take the arms into a goalpost position. Just allows you to feel this twist a little bit more in the side body. And then bring the knees, or the knees back up to center. Hug the knees. You're going to keep the arms out at a T position, but the legs will lift in and over the chest and roll down to the left. So as the legs come down in this reclining twist, a couple things that we're looking for. Number one is if the legs feel like they're pulling up and away from the floor, use your left hand on top of the right thigh. Sometimes that feels a little bit more anchored. You could also, if the legs don't come all the way down to the floor, you could place a pillow underneath them. And if there is any tension underneath the right shoulder, which there can be for some folks, you can place the right hand at the waist. And you'll just very gently press the back of the head into the floor, very gently, kind of lengthens the neck and softens the throat. And then be aware of breathing. And you'll take the knees into the chest. And you can go to the other side. So roll the knees in. Arms out to the sides. Good. Again, once you get down there, if you feel like you need to, you can place the right hand on top of the left thigh, support the legs with some pillows, take the left hand to the waist. Very gently release the front of the throat by pressing the back of the head into the floor just a little bit, and then you soften. This is also a place where if you felt like you wanted to extend your exhale just a bit, we're preparing for relaxation. Just extend your exhale, touch longer here. And then when you are ready, go ahead and take the knees into the chest. Just hug them in here, give them a nice big hug in, maybe a couple circles up the sacrum. Extend the legs along the floor one more time for a full body stretch from fingertips to toes. And then we will prepare for relaxation. Taking some support beneath the head, beneath the knees if you need it, to allow the low back to release into the floor, arms down by your sides, palms facing up. And if it's comfortable for the legs, they're just a little bit more than hip width apart. Feel the weight of your body settling down into your supports. Making any adjustment that you need to so that you can be comfortable and still. And when your body is in alignment, supported, with ease in this way, it's a little easier to pay attention to the quality of your breathing. You're aware now of the whole body breathing. And if your mind is busy at all, you can say to yourself here, breathing in as you breathe in, and then breathing out as you breathe out. See if you can soften around the abdomen. The muscles around the ribs, between the ribs. Soften around the back ribs and see if they just can settle down into the support a bit more. And feel the abdomen rise and fall with each breath. Breathing in a smooth and unbroken stream. With the whole body breathing, take the attention up to the crown of the head and soften the face and the eyes, the jaw, the lips, and take the attention behind the face. And the root of the tongue softens the inner ears, the root of the nose, the backs of the eyes. It's as if you're looking inward now. Then you take the attention into the center of the head. You begin to visualize right here a blue starlight point of light, or just feel a point of energy. We'll do this at each of the points in the upper body. We'll take the blue light from the center of the mind down into the hollow of the throat. To the right shoulder joint. Carry the blue light down into the right elbow. To the right wrist. To the right thumb. To the pointer finger. To the right middle finger. To the right ring finger. To the small finger. Right wrist. Right elbow. Right shoulder joint. If the mind has wandered, we're now right in the throat center with the blue light. Left shoulder joint. Left elbow. Left wrist. The light moves to the tip of the left thumb. pointer finger, middle finger, the ring finger, the tip of the small finger, left wrist, left elbow, left shoulder joint, throat center, heart center, awareness slides over to the right side of the heart, heart center, left side of the heart, heart center. Slowly move your awareness from the heart center up to the throat center and back to the eyebrow center where you began. And for the next couple of breaths, you see if you can sense all of these points in the upper body filled with light and energy. You can take a slightly deeper breath. Become aware of your physical body. You start with your hands and your feet by wiggling your fingers and toes. And just set an intention that you will carry with you this awareness and inner ease that's cultivated by paying attention to the body and breath. And then roll to one side. This can just kind of help get you back into your physical body. Take a few or several resting breaths here. And then whenever you're ready, you can come all the way back up to seated. If it feels good to conclude your practice, you can take your hands around your heart and just fold forward, symbolically sealing in any benefits that you may have received today. Good work. So, and I wish you both a really peaceful day ahead.